After my sat-nav sent me onto busy roads one time too many, I'm finding my way myself. Not so easy without technology.
Thuringia, with all its hills, is nice enough, but it's also a true pain. Slowly I'm reaching the border to Bavaria and the former inner German border.
I've now arrived at the border between the states of Thuringia and Bavaria. I have just 35 days left to reach my destination.
Since the 1950s, the almost 1,400-kilometer-long border between the Federal Republic of Germany and the GDR was right behind me, separating the Western democracy on the one side from the communist dictatorship on the other side.
Here in the German open-air museum in the Thuringian village of Behlingen, the border installations have been almost completely preserved. And you can see just how elaborately the former East Germany sealed itself off. The mayor of Behlingen knows the fortifications well. How was the border structured?
It began with a 500-meter protective strip, and then a fence with warning signals. And then came another 500 meters of guarded strip. And then a border fence with a patrol road and ditches to keep vehicles out, some with automatic firing mechanisms. And some areas were mined, right up to the Bavarian border.
Wow.
This deadly and impregnable border was meant to keep people from fleeing East Germany. Were there attempts to flee right here?
Yes, certainly, several. But nothing really unusual happened near us. There were incidents in the next section of the border. For instance, a man stepped on a mine while trying to get over the fences, and he was seriously wounded.
From 1949 to 1990, Germany was partitioned into West Germany and East Germany. On November 9, 1989, the opening of the wall enclosing West Berlin, which lay in the middle of the East, was hugely significant.
Military and border staff were part of everyday life here in Behrung between the 1950s and 1980s as well.
What was everyday life like for you here?
Perfectly normal. We thought of it as normal. Of course, we were in an exclusion zone, so we had some restrictions. Our relatives couldn't visit spontaneously. We had to apply for permission.
Getting permission to visit seems pretty restrictive to me. How did it feel not being able to go to the other side?
I was born in 1949, so it didn't make that much of an impression. For us children, it was normality. We could only leave in one direction during vacations, but the border didn't bother us personally at all.
But that's not how every citizen of the former East Germany saw it.
Luckily, this is all in the past. Let's see how well East and West Germans know their neighbors on the other side of the former border 20 years after the reunification.
Which picture shows Rappershausen in the west? This woman recognizes the neighboring village right away. So does this schoolboy. This man does too.
Let's cross over to Bavaria.
Which picture shows Behlingen in the east? This woman immediately points to the right one. So does this woman and this man. They all recognize what was long unreachable. I'd say Germany is now really reunited. And off I go again towards the south with a feeling of satisfaction about German reunification.